Welcome everybody to the full moon in Aquarius. Here we are meeting in the time of the visionary, Aquarius, the far-seer, the inventor, the creative, the analytical, big-mindedness. And it's a really intense full moon. In case you haven't felt it, it is. It's one of the most intense I've kind of ever seen. So, batten down the hatches. I wanted to start with this. I pulled a card just before we started, and it's my tree oracle. And it's this. It says, see the light, be the light, which is perfect, right? Because we're in solar Leo, so that is all about the light and the sun. And we're in lunar Aquarius. So it's about vision and keeping the vision. And that's going to be my homework to everybody when you go off into this month, so that you can sort of help the planet during this difficult time. And so, the last time I was thinking about this, that the last time we met at the last full moon was, we did it on a Saturday night. And the next day, the moon was full early in the morning. And that was Sunday. And coincidentally, not coincidentally, but coincidentally, Joe Biden stepped down at the minute, like within 5 minutes of the exact time of the full moon. So today, we're at the next full moon, and it's tomorrow exact at 11:26 a.m. And what happens tomorrow is the Democratic Convention begins. So I would say expect interesting events and things that are surprises. And I'm going to show the chart today because it's so amazing. This is the chart for this full moon. I'm calling it Power Surge. We've got triple T-squares. We've got, I wrote, expect the unexpected, which is exactly right. And the interesting thing about this, if you've got 27 Leo, is the sun's position, the moon is in 27 Aquarius. So that's where you look in your chart to see where's the full moon in your chart, 27 Aquarius, where is that? And look at this, squaring exactly 27 Taurus, Uranus. So this is an exact T-square, exact, almost a few minutes in between. Coincidentally, I was doing this in my last full moon meditation for Meditation Mountain. We were looking at the United States chart with the full moon chart, and coincidentally, this 27 Aquarius moon, full moon, is on the United States natal moon position. So the U.S. chart has Aquarius moon, and it's exactly 27 Aquarius moon. So this is affecting the USA a lot. It's affecting the whole world, of course, because it's happening everywhere on the planet. But it's very personal to us because the moon is personal, right? How we feel, and it's emotional. And Mercury's retrograde. So we've got the sun conjunct Mercury retrograde squaring, and this is exact 27 to 27 and 27 to 26 Mercury. This is tight. It can be volatile. It is unpredictable. Expect the unexpected. I could spend a long time talking about this chart, but I think that's a good place to just leave it, to just know it's intense. And there's a lot of retrograde. Pluto's retrograde, Saturn's retrograde, Neptune's retrograde, Chiron's retrograde. Uranus will be retrograde in a couple of days. Mercury's retrograde. So there's a lot of energy going. And one of the things I would say about this, it can seem like things are going backwards maybe, but they're not. They're just going back to come forward again and to review the information and to review where we are as we are moving forward, because the potential right now is really big for change, right? Uranus is all about change for who? The U.S. And in our moon position, it's squaring it, how we feel as a nation. So it is kind of political, and here we are in this political time, important political time, where there's still so much polarity, there's still so much anger, and people not feeling heard, and people wanting to, yell it from the rooftops, I'm not going to take it anymore. There's a lot of that energy right now. And so it could be really strange this week and this month, actually. So my advice is, no matter what it is, and this is whether you're an astrologer, which I am, or you're not, you don't need to be an astrologer to know all of this, because it's in the air. You can feel it. All of you are feeling it. I'm feeling it. We're all feeling it. And it's time to be very extra mindful. Driving, walking. I tripped on my stairs the other day and banged my head really hard. It's just like being mindful, right? To just stay present and stay centered no matter what's happening. No matter what's happening. And so there could be new news that is shocking in some way, or things that come out and more truths revealed, because this whole time has been about truth coming up to the surface, right? But then mixed in with a lot of things that aren't true too. So it's hard to discern, what's actually happening. But if you use your inner truthometer, you'll know. You can feel it, right? It's that we've been working on this in the meditation classes recently, about how to know. How do you physically know something? Know it. And so when you're listening to someone speak, or if you're watching the news, or if you're reading the paper, you can feel the energy. Like, I was thinking of the best example, which I didn't use in the class, and I want to drop it in here because it was such a good example of how I use my intuition all the time when I'm talking to people, obviously, when I'm interacting with the media, always. Right? Always. I'm reading and feeling intuitively through it. But another way is when your plants need watering, right? Like, it is so obvious. If you feel the energy of your own garden, outside or inside, right? The inner garden, you know which plants need water before they wilt, or before they show signs when a leaf turns yellow. Nothing. You can just feel it, like they're almost going, hello, water over here now, and outside too, it's the same. Or anything. That's such a good example, though, because I walk around the house going with my hand like this, who needs water, and I can feel it in my hand, that this one does, or they all do, or and it's like that with everything. So you start to be sensitive to your environment all the time. And I used to have a house that was falling down the mountain. And when I moved, it did fall down the mountain. But while I was there, it did not. And I used to hold that house together with my will or something. And I used to talk to the diva of that house, which was way down the mountain, and try to get, she was turned away from the house, the opposite direction, right? And I'm like, look this way. And so anyway, these are all energetic things that might be out there for some of you, but they aren't to me, and it's part of my normal life. I talk to my house. I'm always tuning my house. I move things. I move this over here, like that. Little tiny adjustments, from taking this on a table to maybe I'm wanting it over there, or I don't even want it there at all. I'm always moving things in my environment to tune it. So what am I tuning it to? To love, right? To harmony. What is harmonious? Which is love to me. Love is harmony. Harmony is love. So I'm tuning my home, I'm tuning my body. When something's wrong in my body, I'm out of harmony with myself. And then I right away start tuning myself by meditation, by consciousness, by vibration, right? And so the more that you learn to listen to that attunement, right? To listen to your inner knowings about things. And if you want to hear those classes, there were 2 in a row. They are really, really important classes about the physicality of intuition. Those are available still, of course, so you can always get those. They were so powerful and just useful. like the most useful thing. If you don't know that, then we don't know anything if we don't know how we feel. Right? So our body is reading the energy all the time, and then it's ours to decipher and discern what is the energy, what is the meaning of that energy. And it's not hard to tell because it's positive or negative. It can be very detailed, it can be very broad, but you can know. And because things are intense right now, because that's what I called this full moon intensity, is to expect the unexpected, to work with that intensity, to harness that intensity, even like a stallion. Can you imagine? Like this big, huge, wonderful horse, right? And it like in dressage, walk in place, right? It can do amazing things when the rider and the horse are integrated. And that's in dressage, that's called collected, which I love that phrase. That's that word for that. It's collected. The horse and the rider are working as a one. The soul and the self are working as a one. You see? So this is powerful. And so we've got a lot to practice with in these days coming, in the next months, as things are going to be more intense in different ways, and to work with that energy, to harness that energy, to use that energy for the highest good, and to recognize that the energy is changing all the time, and to try not to react to all the things that could be happening around you, which I think all of you are, because we're all meditators, so we're used to putting our emotions aside for the moment for the thing that is the most pressing or the most needed, or that needs the attention, right? So we're not just going, oh no, all the time. We're like paying attention to what's actually happening and what needs the prioritization, right? What's the priority? Well, always, like, bottom line, love is the priority. And so but as I always tell you, love is a very complex thing because it's not love as we mostly understand it. I said once in a video that the Eskimos have 50 words for snow, and we only have one for love. And we really need 50 words for love because there's all kinds of love, right? But that love is the light that we're following and lining up with and lining up with and lining up with, and we could interchange that word love with soul, or all that is, or higher power, or God, or the universe, right? You can use it however you can relate to it. Nature, Mother Nature, the mother of the world, right? However you can relate to it, you're lining up with the highest thing you can think of that you can touch. Like your North Star, right? That North Star, you reach for it. You reach up to the highest thing. So there's all this stuff going down on the ground, right? And always at that place where there's all this energy down here, and there's all this conflict down here, and there's all this polarization down here, A or B, A or B, A or B. We pick C. And C is up here. You always raise up to balance the pairs of opposites. And so it becomes, the work of a conscious person and a person that is wanting to be of assistance at this time, is that when you're standing in line at the bank or at the grocery store, right, as people are fearing about money and they're fearing about everything, there's a lot of fear out there, and what's going to happen. And so you can just bring, even in standing in a line, the people that are around you, they'll feel that shift of energy, almost like pressurization, right? Like when it's going to rain, the pressure lowers. And it sort of like creates that pressurization changes when we take a breath. And at my bank, I was there the other day, they're always so glad to see me. They're going, Diana, you're here. Because there's just something about, right? Because I'm not coming in with fear, even though I might have fear, and I'm not leading with that. I'm not prioritizing fear is more important than anything else, right? I'm coming in there, remembering them and knowing who they are and have, and loving them. Oh, and that's the practice I wanted to give you. So the practice for this full moon in Aquarius, that's holding the vision for everyone and yourself, is, I heard this and I realized I do this too. And I thought it was such a great way to just say it so simply. And she was saying that what she does is no matter where she goes, whenever she has eye contact with anyone, she says to herself, in the silence of her inner self, she says, I love you. So at the bank, I'm definitely loving them. I don't know them that well to love them, but I do, right? Because it's my bank. It's the bank I go to, or the grocery store I go to, or the Trader Joe's I like, and I get to know the people. And so I actually really do love them. It's not even artificial or having to force something. It's just not to forget, because I can be preoccupied and have my list that I have to go through and make sure that all these things happen. And I can become so focused on what I'm doing that I might forget, the interaction of human being to human being, consciousness to consciousness, and that your eyes can give a blessing. Your voice can give a blessing without saying anything that of those words. It's just by being there, by being in that inner harmony in yourself, even if you're not that harmonious. And this is important to remember. You may be having your own issue, as I have been with falling on my head. It was a thing, and it was for 3 days. I was, oh boy, should I go to ER? I wasn't sure because I really cracked it, So I thought, well, but that doesn't change how I feel prioritizationally. What matters to me, right, is to take care of myself, of course, but also to not lose sight of the bigger vision. And when we meditate, we're always hooking back up to the bigger vision, always hooking back up to what's really happening in the big picture of things, and that call to love, that call to light, that call to compassion, that call to harmony. And Aquarius full moon, which is at 27, you can look on your chart where that is if you're curious which house it lights up. But wherever it is, that's where the call is. And wherever 27 Taurus is too, because that's where Uranus is right now, squaring that. So it's super, super tight. Intense, for things to change in our own lives too. So things may fall away, or things that you've been wanting to do happen. It also could be a big change in your life that's positive, that you finally let go of something so that you can embrace the new thing, or you let go of a belief system that hasn't ever worked, but we hang on to it anyway, just in case. We get loyal to our beliefs, that we learned when we were 9 and 2 and things like that are really need to be updated. There's new software, really new software, like generations of software that have come down that are better than that original one that we built when we were 3 or 4 or 5, which were probably perfect at that time for us, but not so much anymore. And so that vision of things, that's what I want you to. So there's 2 homeworks. One is to that I love you, or because the opposite of that is I don't like you, right? I reject you. You repulse me, right? I'm indifferent to you. You don't matter to me. You see, it's really different. Energy-wise, can you feel like how almost offensive just to even say those words are but we are thinking things like that sometimes, right? And so, to that work of that practicing of, I like you, I want to like you, I want to like you. That's maybe a better starting place. I want to like you. Or I do, I like you. I like you sight unseen. I like you not even knowing who you are. And what this woman was saying is, I love you, which is, more. And I think it's powerful. I've done that since I was a child. I know. I remember telling people that I loved them at the train station when I was little, 3 years old, 4 years old, I would wrap my arms around their legs and I love you, and then run away and whatever I was doing. I had that instinct for some reason. And so whatever that all is, this heart, and also to be aware and don't hug people that you don't know. I don't need to tell you that, but in my innocence, I was protected, I think, because I was so innocent, and I wasn't that protected. Things happened, at times, but then you learn, how to do that. And can you still keep your heart open no matter what? Yes, you can. And you can keep your heart open and walk away. You can keep your heart open and speak your mind even, right? If there's something to speak. So it's not about just loving without any thought behind it. But the attitude of just moving as love out there and interacting with the world right now like that especially is really powerful. And it's internal. You're not saying anything. This is nothing you're saying. This is just a feeling that you're having. It's that yes instead of no that we were talking about. Saying yes, and wanting to, I want to connect. I want to understand. And people can feel that. I want to understand, but anyway, I want to talk about me again. That's really interesting. But anyway, that reminds me of me. You know how that goes? So it's like, I really want to understand, and I'll stop everything when I'm listening to someone deeply, which I always listen deeply. When I'm listening deeply and something different happens that I didn't expect in the conversation, I'll say, what did you just say? I stop completely on a dime because something's different there. It's a turn of some sort, and I'm paying attention like that. It's good to pay attention. What is paying attention but presence? There's nothing really to do as much as just to be there. If you've ever been in the hospital as a person that's with someone at the hospital or the person that is in the hospital, people that are present really help. Really, really help. And sometimes, when a nurse comes in and they're present, right? And okay, it's going to be okay. Or that she knows what to do. Or it's your friend or it's a family member, and vice versa if there's not that there's fear. I don't like hospitals. I don't want to be in the hospital. Things, I don't like the smell of hospitals. There's so much kind of terror almost around hospitals sometimes. So it's actually a great practice place. That, is a wonderful practice place. And when I am in hospitals, I'm always kind of walking down the corridors with my hands out to the side. I pretend I'm a blue whale. And I just go down the hallways and just, So you're inhaling and exhaling love, healing, light, whatever, help, safety, all is wellness, and you just, all done just walking down the hall. That in this place of a lot of different kinds of things are going on. And you don't even know what's going on in those rooms, but things are going on. People are lonely. People aren't being seen. People are in pain, everything. So just as an example, it's the same as walking down the street. You can walk down the street and you're just kind of filtering, right? Filtering all that energy through the giant heart of the blue whale, right? And it just kind of transmutation, right, of alchemical breath to change the energy in your neighborhood or in your house. And you start to tune yourself, your home, the neighborhood, the world, just gently, subtly making little tiny adjustments that are all connected to love and light. And it's this offering that we can make. And so that's the other practice. So the I love you, or I like you, or I want to like you, or open-heartedness, I guess is an easier way to say it, versus I fear you. We can tell, right? We can feel when somebody is judging you. You can feel when somebody's scared of you. You can feel when you're scared of someone. It's like it's just all right there. So I love you is a position you're taking as a point of awareness. I choose love. Remember all those meditations? I taught that as a mantra over and over. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love. The action of it. The action of it. And the other sort of secondary practice is, I wrote down, when in doubt, meditate. You get yourself tuned back in. The energy is going to be moving a lot these days, and even though things seem to be going in some direction, differently, it could flip 180. So this is a time to just keep holding for the highest good for all concerned. The highest good for all concerned. And that's going to be probably the focal point of our meditation tonight in Aquarius, right? Which it's all about the greater good, the big, big picture, the all of humanity, right? And the genius that humanity can be, and we're appealing to our better angels, right? To call on our better angels in ourselves to to touch that energy that is the soul genius that we all have inside of us when we have access, or when we remember we have access to that at any time. So that's where we're going to start with the meditation. So set yourself up how you like to be. I'm so glad you're here from everywhere. San Francisco. Austin. Yeah. Oh, and a little, today is John Mayall's funeral. And when a friend of mine, he's a musician, blues guitar player, so we send a little light towards him and his progression. Wonderful artist. A friend of our family. He used to live up the hill from us, up in Laurel Canyon. So I knew him as a child. And then I knew him as an adult as well. Okay, here we go. Las Vegas is here. There's all different places. London, Hawaii, Northridge. Represent. So when you're ready to, close your eyes. And the first thing you're going to do is start to use your breath to organize yourself into this time and space. Letting your breath be conscious and deep, breathing in and breathing out. And as you breathe in and out gently, feel like you're weaving a tapestry of calm. Weaving a tapestry of calm. Weaving a tapestry of the physical experience of calm. Breathing in calm, breathing out calm. Breathing in calm, breathing out calm. Until you feel yourself settle into the calm in your heart, into the calm in your heart. I settle into the calm of my heart. I settle into the calm of my heart. And whatever yourself might be needing right now, whatever it is, healing, support, confidence, remembering, patience, hope, whatever yourself is needing, whether you can name it or even not, just know that in this center of calm in your heart, that you can receive this healing. You can receive this support in this calm that doesn't debate it or take it away from yourself or have to earn it or win it or lose it. It's just for you. It's just for you, because your soul knows what you need. Your soul knows what you need. And so in this calmness, in this calm heart, vessel, allow yourself to be filled with whatever it is that is in the highest service for you right now. And you may know what it is and you may not. But just know that it is love in form. And exactly what is needed. And all you have to do is receive it. I receive this gift from the soul. I receive this gift from the universe. I accept this gift. And remember, we were talking about that practice of I love. Just in that calm heart, hear it like a song in the background. I love, I love, I love, I love. I love, I love, I love. Building currency, building energy, amperage, like filling up a battery of heart. And you have a big, brave heart that's secure and aware and full of light. And then out of this vessel of calm in the center of the heart, feel a line of light move up into the head center. And imagine that line of light, silvery light, moving right up from the heart to the head center and blooming into a lotus. Blooming into a lotus. And as that occurs, feel the crown chakra, the 1,000-petaled lotus, open. and be infused with this full moon energy into this divine intelligence that is pouring through our world and into us to inspire your way, to light your way, to show you your way, to remind you of your way. The way. The way. That's what the Tao means. The way. Right? So profound. And in this state for some time, sitting in this silence, we'll use this little seed thought to hold the highest vision for the good of all at this time in the world. We hold the highest vision for the good of all. Om. I hold the highest vision for the good of all. Om. We hold the highest vision in these times of change. We hold the highest vision. And we know we hold the highest vision. Redeeming the matter. Holding it up. Watching it change in your mind's eye into more light. Put no stamp upon it of a particular thing except love. We hold the highest vision for the good of all. Om. And gently letting all that light now that you've made refresh your energy pattern of your body, the way you're organized inside of it, that all your little atoms and all the little nuclei inside the atoms are sparkling. Millions of suns within us. And all that light just emanating out, blessing the world, your body, your home, your neighborhood, the world. And using your breath to organize all of this into yourself as yourself, so it becomes part of who you are, how you are, what you are. We remember ourself until it starts to feel natural to begin to transition out of this meditation when you're ready to. See the light, be the light, right? Yeah. This will be up on YouTube tomorrow if you want to rewatch it or listen. It'll be on SoundCloud also, just the meditation by itself, audio only. On YouTube, it's audio visual. And we'll meet again. The next full moon is Tuesday, September 17th. And the next meditation class is Monday, September 2nd. And if you're interested in those last two meditation classes, they are available. You can reach out to me. And if you like any of the things that I'm doing, please put a like on it. It helps other people see it. Otherwise, it just stays. So like it goes past me when you put a like on it. So if you do, that helps me. And I think these are good messages for the world right now to add into all that energy that's out there. Or you can also just let me know how you're doing with all this too. I always like to hear. So thank you for being part of this full moon meditation. So happy you are here. Isn't it wonderful to have a place to connect? And it's every month on the full moon. There it is. And we have this way to connect and have community, and it's global community, which is just so powerful and such a relief, to have a way to do that from wherever we are and be inside our car or on a boat or in our house and be able to meditate together, because it's powerful when you meditate together in real time, even on Zoom, and sometimes I think more because of the distances, because all that distance becomes nothing across the planet. It's powerful. So thank you, everyone. I'll see you next time. Thanks for being here.